Hello, and welcome to a special edition of We Got Issues, the only comic book podcast that can courageously admit that the Spider-Man arc, One More Day, in which Peter Parker gives up his marriage to Mary Jane to the demon Mephisto to save his Aunt May's life, may have been the stupidest way for Marvel editorial to get Peter to be a bachelor again. Again, no other podcast would ever admit that, but we will. We truly are heroes. Hi, I'm Brian Compton, aka BComp, and joining me as always is the Miles Morales to my Peter Parker, Josh Markwith. How you doing, buddy?
First of all, love that Miles Morales on this one. I'm a person and a good person and a good, not sidekick, but he is the other Spider-Man. I got my own video game.
That's cool.
And then, second, we are the forefront of this opinion. We are the
no
only
one else
ones.
Would think that.
Nobody. Look, this is one of the hills that we will die on. But also, isn't there a contender with the whole Mary Jane and what's his face? Paul.
Yeah. The only reason I know it's his name because that's my middle name. So
right.
That guy. Now you may have heard You may have heard a new voice on the podcast today. Josh, you want to tee this one up?
Yeah. So, I mean, as you can hear, we are not alone. And as in the podcast, in the universe, maybe, who knows what you feel. But we have our first guest, actually. It took us 15 episodes to do it, but we have our first guest. It's our friend at Serving Up Comics. It's Gene Aversa, and he's joining us today and helping us out. How are you doing, Gene?
Yay! A little applause.
Oh, thank you.
Our first guest. Thank you, Gene, for coming on here and actually being on our podcast. All right.
Oh no, it's good to be on here. I guess what did they say? Long time listener, first time caller.
First time caller.
Yeah. But no, it's good to have you on, Josh and BComp. I've had you on my show a few times, and
a couple times.
Yeah, it's cool to be at your house and talk comics with you. It's awesome. So I'm really happy to be there. I used to work with BComp too.
Well, we're gonna get into all of that in just a moment. Don't worry. Let's
get into the lore of
the
Brian and Gene.
Yeah,
but exactly. thanks for joining. Yeah, we had a lot of fun on your podcast when I think we talked about the Penguin and then Thunderbolts.
Yep.
So which Penguin's up for a couple Emmys too, so which is great.
Yeah. So
there we go. Well, Gene, as you said, we are on a comic book podcast, and we, as a guest, wanted you to come with a book. What book did you bring, and what did you pick for this episode?
Yeah, we wanted you to do all the work. We didn't want to do any of this work, so yeah.
No, it's all cool. Yeah, so I chose Ultimate Spider-Man by Jonathan Hickman.
Oh, wait, not the Brian Bendis run?
No, not the Brian Bendis.
Boy, my research is going to be messed for this episode.
Is it not the Brian Bendis one?
No, that's great. The John Hickman one.
John Hickman.
This is where in the edit where I put. We actually had to talk about a different one.
Yeah.
As I choke on my water, excuse me. We actually had to discuss a different one. So please, keep on listening. When those edit-ins or the person who's actually editing it. Like, actually, for all your listeners out there, I'm sorry, but we had some issues on what our research was. So here's a whole new different one.
Yeah, it's fun to hear. Well, before we can get started with all that, I believe we have a little bit of housekeeping to take care of. Josh, you want to tackle this one?
I will tackle this one. Now, Gene, I don't know if you know, but we have an awesome sponsor, and they help us out and they help our listeners out. And if you're looking for the best treats this side of the 616, that's depending on who you ask, that's either the comic book or the MCU universe. You owe it to yourself to check out Duff and Shaw's world famous snacks. From wild cherry Dogman gummies to Bigfoot's smoky kettle crunch, these snacks and candy are curated from the most mysterious and undiscovered places on planet Earth. Head over to duffandshaw.com/issues today and check out all they've got and more. Again, that's duffandshaw.com/issues for the most legendary snacks on the planet.
Please check them out. It really does help the podcast.
And it's a win-win because you get good snacks and they're actually really good. So it's
win-win-win-win. There we go.
Yeah,
so as we Yeah, you have, and that's why we actually have some profits.
I know, right? It's like
giving
myself money.
It's
It's
the
kinda really weird.
Ouroboros. Yeah.
Yeah.
So as Gene had mentioned earlier, or just a few moments ago, Gene and I go way back. Gene was one of my editors on Attack of the Show. It was the new G4. Want to talk a little bit about that, Gene? How much I harassed you in the edit bays?
Yeah, no, dude. Like, you were honestly like, not to like. I don't want to sound like I'm just,
Here it comes. Here comes the blowing the smoke.
No,
Here it
yeah,
comes.
blowing
me-
smoke. No, blowing smoke. Because no, you were my favorite producer to work with.
More
Yeah,
alkalids. More. Keep it going. Keep it going.
You're gonna
Feed my
make him
ego.
cry.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's no, because I think we you and me click because it's like you either mentioned or that you worked on the original show, or you mentioned comics,
Mhm.
because Brian, you worked on, yeah, I mean, listeners know you worked on the original Attack of the Show,
Mhm.
and I grew up watching that as a kid, so it's like you were like, we had just like a thing, and you were like my cool uncle or something, but so I don't mean to make you feel old or anything.
No, it's all right.
No, he is
But,
old.
okay.
No, age
Crying.
makes him feel old. Time makes him feel old. That's what makes him feel old.
Yeah.
This gray and this beard, baby.
Yeah. But yeah, like, yeah, no, I was at the Revival. I worked as an assistant editor on pretty much every show except a certain show, which I think Brian knows the one I'm talking about.
No comment.
Yeah,
I'm not
no
gonna
comment.
talk-
Yeah, legally, we
Nope.
cannot talk about.
I'll talk about that. I did
Yeah.
chase that. I did chase that talent out though, and read him the
Uh-huh.
riot act in the hallway just because of what he was doing, and we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, no, that works for me. But yeah,
So
no.
What stuff like
What's up?
specifically on the shows? Because I know Attack of the Show had a bunch of different
Oh yeah,
stuff, but like what like
Uh-huh.
specific like
He would
parts?
do he would
Yeah.
do cut downs and stuff like that for me. He'd also like set up
Gotcha.
like feed segments and stuff like that for me,
Yeah.
if I recall.
Yeah. No, it's like yeah, I would do like B-roll for why am I around the
The
net.
feed around the
the
net.
feed.
The
I
feed.
actually I did the feed.
good.
I did the feed a few times, and
Uh,
then I think it was a certain editor that just got like, he was on the
Got you on
feed,
the
like,
rotation.
yeah, he was on it. And then yeah, I did that. I did some cut downs for YouTube for VODs, so certain like segments. I worked on some of the skits, setting those up when you guys filmed it. And well, it was a spinoff, but like for Fresh Ink, I would work on a lot of the cutaways that you would show of the shows.
Huh.
So yeah, it was a Swiss Army knife, you know.
Nice, yeah. It sounds
Absolutely.
like it. Yeah, the utility player.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
Here's a really important question, Gene, and I hope you can be honest with us and how you feel. Premiere, Avid, Final Cut. What do you use?
Yeah, so I could do all of those.
Oh,
right? So I've been
excuse
doing
me.
this. I've been doing this for 10 years.
That like went over
Uh,
99% of our audience's head.
I know. Hey, that's why I like to segment
Yeah.
our audience. Which one do you prefer? Are you a Premiere man?
Yeah, so basically, I just use. I prefer Premiere. I could do all of them. I got certified in Avid, so like I've worked as an assistant editor in Avid a few times. I was uncredited, but I worked on the Anthony Bourdain documentary. It's called
Oh,
Roadrunner.
very nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
they didn't put me in the credits, but I mean, I still got paid. It's on IMDb, so
It's on your resume, baby.
yeah. Well, it kind of worked out because it's like they did use a certain AI feature to resurrect Anthony Bourdain. So
Oh,
you
wow.
know, I wasn't around for that. So you know,
Interesting.
Works out.
but
So
yeah,
no Windows Movie Magic or anything like that? You don't
No,
use,
no.
No, okay, fine.
iMovie.
yeah, no, I
Yeah,
could
iMovie.
yeah, I could use it. I think, you know, I never used that actually as a kid. Like I tried, and then I was like, this is dumb. And then because actually I've been editing since high school because I went to a technical high school.
Okay.
I was in San Gabriel. It was a Catholic technical high school.
All right.
And
Oh, wow, those are words you don't usually put together.
yeah,
No,
it's
very
called,
specific.
yeah, it's called Don Bosco Tech, and it was cool. It was great, but I was in a technology called I was graphic communications, and like basically we worked on a lot of like Adobe programs in regards to graphic design and printing. But our last year we were assigned to like make a movie, and it was like me and a friend. We were like, wow, because everyone kind of did it at the last minute. I'm like, what if you wrote this over the summer because you had to film it like in the spring and all that. So I'm like, what if we start it? So we wrote like this, like it's still online somewhere, but it's basically like a political thriller, and it has like high school students. But we got well, it was cool because we got like a videography company to do it. Lend us our equipment, or we lent our equipment, and the videography guy like was the DP, and basically we kind of made this like kind of noir looking like student film, which was cool. So we won like best in class, but that's kind of my origin story, just with like getting into film. Because from there, I worked at a place called the Asylum. They did all the Sharknado movies.
I know Asylum.
That sounds great.
That was my film school.
Hey,
Transmorphers.
I was gonna say Transmorphers. I was about to say that.
Yeah,
Aliens versus Hunter.
Aliens versus Hunter.
Atlantic Rim. It was
Atlantic
not Pacific
Rim.
Rim, but it's Atlantic Rim, which is amazing.
That's great. So as we had mentioned earlier, we'd been on your podcast, but for those who may have missed in our audience, can you tell us a little bit about what your podcast is, Serving Up Comics?
Yeah, so Serving Up Comics, it's a podcast I do, and it's kind of like Fresh Ink, where it's like a spin-off sort of our main show, which was the Waffle Press Movie Podcast. So it's like a podcast under this podcast network where me and a guest just talk about comic book movies. From it's kind of bi-monthly now, but it's something I do for fun, and I really enjoy doing it. We gotten a lot of cool guests to interview, and some comic creators. We had Chasm's friend. His name's Wyatt Kennedy. He was talking Night.
Yeah,
Bolero, yeah.
Which is based in Burbank. It's really cool, actually.
It's cool, yeah. That's what
I was like, that's a lot of Burbank hotspots in that book.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, it's really cool. I've been doing my podcast for like 10 years now. So it's like,
wow, so you're like an OG DIY. And
pretty much.
With the Waffle Podcast, though, that's mainly movies and film stuff, right?
Yeah, it's mainly movies and film. Me and my friend Diego do it. I've known him since high school, and we just, like you guys, we're two friends, and like we just wanted to talk every week about stuff we're super passionate about, movies we like, hype up friends' movies. So we had like people from the Asylum on there, or we get to interview like random filmmakers that like other friends worked with through like being publicity or whatever. Do like EPK interviews and stuff, and
that's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, actually, with all the years you've been doing it, I mean, honestly, I was going to give you a little bit of a personal shout out for that, Gene, because Josh and I have been trying to get this podcast off the ground for years. Like, we did a live show of it for a while, and then it kind of fell apart, and then we're like, we should do this again. And finally, I think I reached out to him about a year ago. I was like, Josh, we got to do this. And he was like, we have one more chance to do this. And I can't keep trying to do this and it falling apart. And it was actually you were the person I called up and was like, hey, man, like, do you mind meeting for coffee? So, like, the DNA of this show literally is you, like, from you having that, I think we met at Black Elephant, and you just gave me like, here's what you're gonna need to do, here's what you need to follow. And
the
like, if you hadn't done, boom, good job, Josh. The Gene and A, I love it. But in all seriousness, like we do owe you a little bit of a debt, because if you hadn't helped us out, we'd probably still be on the bike. Like, this will be the week. This will be the week. This will be the week.
Or we'd just be hanging out on Brian's couch, taking up like 3 hours. Going, hey, this should be the show. This is the show.
This should be the show. This should be the show.
We literally did that for years, and because it started when we chat when we worked at E News, and then eventually the podcast started being a thing. We're like, why don't we just talk? We tried so many different versions. We finally got the motivation. It just actually life kind of started just because every time we start like something would happen and like push us back, but then.
It was a baby,
No, it's all good. So I'm like basically the radioactive spider that like bit you guys,
Pretty much, yeah.
Or the cosmic rays.
I'll take it. That's a good one. It's good.
The cosmic rays, yeah. That's that one's very apropos, like or current.
Yeah.
So I mean, while we're talking about comics and everything, so what books do you kind of like read or enjoy to read?
Yeah, so like right now, just like comic book wise, yeah, I've been reading Ultimate Spider-Man. Obviously, it's like one of the things I've been collecting month to month, and that's kind of been my escape from reality sometimes. I love that book so much. We'll get more into it, but
Hey, weird. I'm reading that one too right now. That's weird.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I'm kidding. That's
Do you do digital or do you do physical copies?
Yeah, I do physical copies. It's just like
Okay.
I like going to the comic book store. You got me yeah, yeah, you know, yeah, I got like you know, the physical copies. I go to the store that you recommended, House of Secrets.
Secrets, yeah.
Yeah, I feel something rewarding with having physical media, especially that, you know.
Totally.
So yeah.
Yeah, hear that, Josh?
yeah. I know. I'll just read the content guy, so I have everything on my iPad.
Whatever.
I'm
All right.
You know, but also what's your comic book startup? Like what kind of got you started into comics? Like was it as a kid, like most of us, or just you're like, hey, I saw these new movies coming out, so I kind of wanted to start reading about them and then getting into them. Like what's the
your origin story?
Origin story. That's kind of the better way of saying. Yeah.
There you go. Your zero issue.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, because it's like, you know, from like for comic book characters, I feel like I always liked, you know, since I can remember, like I had Spider-Man toys or like Wolverine or X-Men. But specifically for comics, you know, because it's you know, you're around that. I remember my first issue, which I still have somewhere at my parents' house, and it's like beat up. It's like beat to shit, but it's unfortunately it's John Byrne's Spider-Man Chapter 1. I think it's like issue 7.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about.
It's issue like
yeah, it's around 99. He did that, right?
Yeah.
It's when they relaunched Amazing Spider-Man as Amazing Spider-Man #1, and then he did like chapters 1 through 12. It was like a retelling of the amazing, basically a retelling of like Spider-Man's origin, if I recall, right? Like chapter 7, or if I recall, I could be wrong.
Yeah,
John Byrne did it, right?
Yeah, John Byrne did it. Like it's like the proto Ultimate Spider-Man, because it's basically a retelling. This is interesting. We're talking about this, but it's a retelling of the origin. They tried to modernize it, but then it's also weird because one, it's John Byrne, which I don't know how much we'll get into that guy, but John Byrne's kind of weird. And then he'll just like change random stuff. It won't be like, you know, like cool changes like Uncle Ben was like, you know, in the military. It's like stuff where it's like Sandman, Flint Marko, and Norman Osborn Green Goblin are cousins and they're related because John Byrne noticed that Norman has the same
hair.
Fucking hair.
I was just about to say that.
Yeah. Sorry if I don't.
No, you can profanity. It's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, like he has the same hair as Sandman, and then they decided to like, oh, okay, yeah, let's make them cousins, but it just makes odd decisions, so it's not very good. But anyway, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say, I think I think I collected those issues, and I'm not one of those guys who like throws issues out, but I think those are ones that just went missing from my collection, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
In the move.
Yeah, the move. Oh no, that
move.
box fell off the back. Unfortunately, a lot of other good stuff fell off with it. I mean, I'm actually upset about that. Cool.
Yeah. No, it's like, so that actually, so when I remember, this is a very vivid memory when I was like 6 or 7, I just had this like, I had like some sort of like cold, or like I was sick. So my mom took me to a drugstore, and the drugstore actually still had comic books at the time. So it was like, she got me, because we were picking up medication. I was like, I want that one. And it was like Spider-Man and Mysterio. And that was my first comic. So like that's cool. And from there, nice. I was hooked like it was like drugs. Because it's just like I started collecting since I was 6. I don't think there's ever been a year that I've not collected. I mean, maybe bought a little less, but I was hooked. And I'm never gonna stop.
I was gonna say, I'm a little upset though, Gene. Like when you're like, I was 6 when I got that issue. I'm like, motherfucker, I was 20.
Oh, really? No way.
I swear to God, I was 20 when I bought that issue.
Yeah.
That was a lot.
I want to cry right now. All right. Well, let's get on to the main show now. because I'm gonna cry.
Yeah. So let's go to our main topic, which is funny enough, Spider-Man, and
Yeah.
we're going to be
Spider-Man
talking
for
about
that.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Without getting too specific, why did you choose this one? Just because you had some residual of your first comic, like, hey, first comic, and then the first guest on the podcast. You thought Ultimate Spider-Man's the way to go, or you went that deep?
Yeah, no, I feel like just kind of this is like the thing that I've been reading that I've most been locked into. If you guys ever heard that expression, it's just kind of like it was like Jonathan Hickman. He was like writing Spider-Man. I like Hickman. I like how he used him in his Fantastic Four. And I was like, okay, like if I'm gonna try out the Ultimate Universe, I'll give this one a shot. And it's just like stuff that just makes me like as a Spider-Man fan, because that's my first comic. That's the first character I felt like really into. Like it made me like just really appreciate like everything about the character and just kind of how interesting and new and like weird and bold this is, because it's, and we'll talk about it, but it's basically the Matrix meets Spider-Man of like Peter like misses a spider bite when he's like 15 and he doesn't get it till he's like 30, and it's like almost like Neo, where it's like the spider comes back and like reawakens him and he gets like almost like reborn, or Neo kind of how Neo like reawakens, so it's really, I just thought it's really cool, and I just like I'm like really into it. Yeah.
Well,
That's great.
That's great. Well, this is the moment where we would do the blurb on the back. And Gene, as our guest, would you like to take a stab at reading those sort of the blurb that would be on the back of the first trade?
Oh yeah, no, definitely. So got this all teed up. The most
All right.
A lot of pressure
Yes,
too.
pressure.
I'll do my best.
So
do your best, baby.
If you mess up, you're off the show. Just giving you a heads up.
Yeah,
One shot.
Stop recording.
You only got one shot.
Yeah. The most surprising Spider-Man story of the 21st century at the dawn of the reimagined Ultimate Universe. After the events of Ultimate Invasion, the world needs a hero. Step forward, Peter Parker. But this is an older, wiser web-slinger, one who balances his costume duties with his responsibilities as a husband and a father. That's right. Peter and Mary Jane are married with kids. The stakes have never been higher, and as Spider-Man faces his new first supervillain, J. Jonah Jameson's quest to uncover who's really pulling the strings of this new Ultimate Universe leads to a shocking revelation. Plus, New York City welcomes its newest hero, the Green Goblin. But who's behind the mask, and what does the Goblin know of the true status of the world in which he lives? We'll find out.
Dun, dun.
Yeah, nice job.
Yeah.
Okay, you
Oh,
can stay on
thanks.
the show. We're good.
Yeah. No, I'm cool. But no, I did. Had a good writer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead, Josh.
No. Yeah. The good writer was the PR guy for the back of the book.
Yeah, back of the book. Well, as you mentioned, this series is currently ongoing right now, and it's currently on issue 19, which is, I believe, dropping this week. It's expected to run until about issue 24, in which the entire status quo of the entire Ultimate line is going to be thrown up in the air. So that's kind of where we stand with the book as it is.
Yeah, and then the series began in January of 2024 following the events, like we said, on the Ultimate Invasion. And it's being written by Jonathan Hickman and drawn by Marco
Cicchetto.
See, I got that right.
I know. I had to like look it up, and it's Marco Cicchetto. He's Italian.
Marco
and like literally
Cicchetto.
Cicchetto. So they hit it hard too.
Cicchetto. That was so bad of an accent. I feel bad.
We should just delete that.
I'm just gonna move on. So, Gene, this is a question we ask every episode, though. I think you kind of mentioned this, but how do you read this? Like, do you get it in singles, or is there even a trade out yet? Like, what?
Yeah,
there is. Yeah,
there's the two trades.
There's
two trades.
Okay, there's two trades. Gotcha. And so I mean, so do you singles, or do you wait for the trades, or do you how do you read it first of all?
So for this one I just read from month to month. I do some stuff in trades like other comics if it's just kind of like if I missed like the first run and I want to, or the first arc and I want to get into it, I kind of find or like one shots or miniseries are really cool. But for like ongoings like this, I love getting hooked on the ongoing issues, because it's like it makes life exciting. It's like something to look forward to every month, and especially right now where life's like friggin'
What are you
like
talking about?
there's a crazy
Everything's great right now. Let me just check my notes. Yep, nothing wrong in the world or this country at all.
Everything's amazing. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what escape
reality
do
you live in? Apparently, you're in the 6160 universe.
I know.
Yeah. It's I'm kind of on board with you on that one, Gene. Like, this is one of those books that I do buy on a monthly basis, and unfortunately, talking this like to Josh in the last couple episodes, it's one of those things where it's such a good book though that I like to read my good stuff last, and what ends up happening is like the bad pile kind of gets higher, and so the good stuff has to go to the bottom, and so I end up having like all this crap that I got to read to get to the good stuff. But I will say that this is one of those books that is a pleasure to read in paperback, every month. What about you, Josh? I know the answer, but
I get the same singles every week, and I get it digitally.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, I get it every week.
You get paper singles or digital?
I'm sorry, digital, and not every week, every month. What am I thinking? Sorry, I get it every issue when it comes out. Yeah, I get it on digital, of course. I don't go to the place at all.
Do you buy anything in paper now, Josh, or do you just like stick to key issues?
I know.
Or something like that?
Am I just like?
Sorry, Gene. This is off topic.
I know,
no, you're good.
No, he's putting me on the spot too. I feel like a fake fan, but I haven't been to a comic book shop in a while. It's I've just been doing digital. Look, I've been
flicking my hand away at him.
I know.
All right.
I need to start looking up I need to get some Grails back. That's
the thing. Honestly, don't collect series. Just go. You know what? I want to get this first appearance, or I want to get. That's all you got to do. Just focus on key issues.
I gotta find Grails or ones that. Yeah. But you see, that's the thing though. I've gotten my Grails. That's the thing. Like issues that I've wanted in paper. I've gotten them. You
have Nova's first appearance.
I don't need Nova's first appearance. That's what I'm saying. I don't need it. I'm not
need it, but you want it.
I know. I'm not.
No, but it's like $100, man. It's like
exactly. It's $100. It's $100.
I don't have the money right now, but they have
how much it is digitally. $3. Yeah,
but it's not the same.
I know.
Okay. We got to get back on topic.
Get off my ass.
Okay.
No. But I mean, like, I have issues. Like, I have issues like
I know you do.
Infinite Countdown, and then Nova. What? Like, I have out of whack issues. So like, Infinite Countdown. I have Nova, the new series that not the new series, but the 2000 series, the number 2. Specifically when he yells at Iron Man, like so I have moments in paperback and stuff.
Okay.
So I know I have to. If you put me on the spot, I have to at least like so people can
defend yourself.
Defend myself as like a comic book fan.
I just like picking on you.
I know what the fuck, dude. At least give me a heads up so I can write something.
Yeah.
I was waiting for this when we had a guest to ambush you. I've been holding back on that one. So Gene. Are you a big Spider-Man guy? You kind of alluded to chapter 7 of the John Byrne, that thing, year 1, basically of what it is. But what's your history with the character? Were you into the movies? And I actually had the question: do you remember your first issue of Spider-Man in the notes? But you've answered that question already.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, well, that was like the first issue that I got. But I feel like I could give another answer, just kind of like
please go for it.
Got me hooked into was. Brian Bendis Ultimate Spider-Man.
Okay.
And that was like I got like the trade and everything. Like I got like the trade to like I think it was Double Trouble. So it's the arc with no, it's the one with the Kingpin. It's like I forgot what it's called, but I got that one where I think my mom got it for me at like Borders, RIP.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I just was like, he fights the Kingpin and Electro, and it's just like, I'm like 10 years old. I'm like, this is amazing. It's like Spider-Man, like, because it's like, it's so real. With like, he tells like Mary Jane who he is and everything. And it's like, it's like, it was awesome. So like, I guess, and then before that, I watched the cartoon, which was the 90s Spider-Man show. And it had, instead of guns, it had like lasers and like
it was amazing.
Spider-Man never throws a punch. He just webs and kicks people.
I never noticed that too. That's crazy.
I was like, wait, what?
And
So if you watch the
is that like Ninja Turtles 2 where they don't actually ever use their weapons or something like that?
Oh yeah, they don't actually use their actual weapons too. Yeah. Oh my god, guys are blowing my mind right now.
Yeah, so
I never noticed that.
Yeah, if you watch it, he punches someone one time, which is he punches the spot.
And it goes through.
Yeah, because it's like, so the censors were really tough on that show for whatever reason. But it's weird because Batman would just kick and punch.
Kick the hell out of people. Yeah,
Batman in the 90s
proves.
Yeah,
he punches somebody in the theme, like the beginning theme.
yeah. That theme, which also, speaking of things that are cool, that opening theme of Batman the Animated Series never once says the words Batman or anything. The only words are, I think, like bank. When the heist at the top. Like there's no credit crawl at all on that opening. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah. So like that's kind of my start, and then I just kept reading Ultimate Spider-Man as a kid, and it would get watch most of the shows. I remember watching stuff like the MTV Spider-Man.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so it had
voiced by Neil Patrick Harris.
Patrick Harris. My dude from the Asylum, Ian Ziering as Harry Osborn. He's in Sharknado.
I was like, he was in, wasn't he in something else?
He was in 90210.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was like a 3D. It was actually pretty good for a little bit. It was only a couple episodes, or not. It was like only one season.
One season,
right?
Yeah. So because it's it conflicted a lot of stuff that was going on in the Raimiverse. So that brings that to the movies. First movie was one of my favorite directors of all time. You might see him in the background. I have a frame photo of me and him.
Nice.
It, right there. Yeah, it's on my trophy case. Sam Raimi. My parents took me to see it opening day, and that was cemented me as I love this character. He's my favorite character ever.
Honestly, he is one of the best characters. No doubt about that. I think we've talked about this before, but one of the reasons I like Spider-Man, I give him just a little more leeway over Batman is we've talked about this, is that, Batman, when his origin is his parents are killed in front of him, whereas Spider-Man, he gets bitten by the spider, but his true origin is when he decides to not stop the burglar. He's like, I'm not stopping that burglar. And that burglar's actions kills his Uncle Ben. And it's interesting, he has agency in his origin is kind of what I'm getting at. His actions led to that, whereas Batman was just a victim. So,
I mean, in some continuities, it's either he decides, tells his parents, "Can we go to the to the car?" But it's still so indirect.
It's indirect.
But because it's his origin is so crime, crime is just so random, and it's just a random gunman. So Peter
straight up was I ain't stopping this clown.
Peter directly
directly responsible.
And that weighs with him his whole life. That's why love that character.
But I think also what stands the time with Spider-Man as a character and why he's so popular, and it was deliberate what Stan Lee did. Spider-Man could be anybody.
He's the everyman.
You could see he's the everyman. You could see him as yourself as Spider-Man. Teenager problems. He wasn't a billionaire. He wasn't a Kryptonian. He wasn't a super smart guy. The Reed Richards
he was,
type,
but not like Reed Richards.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And then he was the everyman, and he was just a fun character. And what also helps him though too is he was funny. Spider-Man is generally known as a funny, wisecracking character, and I think that also helps him stand the test of time. Yeah, really. So, going back to your Spider-Man origin though too, it's funny how most people, I think I've said this too, how most people get into comic books by either those 90s cartoons of X-Men or Batman or Spider-Man, which is great. And then Ultimate Spider-Man, the Brian Bendis one, that's a great book to have started too, because it's a retelling the origin. I will talk more, but it's funny.
Talk about it right now, actually.
That's the next one. Yeah. But it's very interesting. And it's awesome to hear that too, because it's a great run to start with Spider-Man to know,
Mhm.
you know, like his separate origin. You get to see him back as a teenager and as a kid, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So with that, what we like to do is add a little context to why we're going into this book and what's going on. And so with that, we're going to give a little bit of context. It's not going to be as much as I used to do, but we're going to talk a little bit about who this Spider-Man, who this Peter Parker is, and how it kind of got to be the way it is.
Yeah.
As we've mentioned before, Ultimate Spider-Man, you know, we keep throwing that term around. There's 2 Ultimate Spider-Man books at this point. We have this one that came out in 2024, but back in 2000, that's when Marvel was like, hey, sales are in the dump. We need to find a way to revitalize characters, per what you were just talking about, Josh. And Marvel decided to launch a book called Ultimate Spider-Man, was helmed by Brian Bendis, this up-and-coming writer out of like Image, to create like a new, not a new origin, but a very updated origin. It took like 6 or 8 issues to actually tell the origin of Spider-Man, whereas like the original Amazing Fantasy number 15, it takes place like 14 pages, I believe, you know, the actual true, you know, origin of Spider-Man. This, of course, was a huge success for Marvel. I mean, this book was in you know, they put it out in like Payless shoe stores and Walmarts and all that. It was back on spinner racks and stuff like that. You know, so this kind of was a big thing, and this led to Ultimate X-Men, the Ultimates, and eventually Ultimate Fantastic Four, which came out in 2004, which also coincidentally was written by Brian Bendis. Ultimate Fantastic Four, and if you haven't seen the movie most recently, you know, it's just an updated version of the FF. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah.
Josh,
Wasn't Ultimate Fantastic Four first started with Warren Ellis?
No.
Oh,
So it was
Brian
Bendis.
Bendis.
It was Bendis, Millar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Warren Ellis came in, and then Bendis came back out, or it was Millar came on after.
Millar came back,
doing
because then you get
X-Men.
Marvel Zombies came out of that.
Marvel Zombies came out of that.
And then,
that's right.
Miller was doing X-Men, and you know, and these were like to get people into the movies too. Like these were these to catch people up on, so because these movies were coming out, X-Men and Spider-Man, and Marvel knew it's like Fantastic Four, and people in Marvel knew people are not going to go all the way back to the origin, so they wanted to revamp the origin, make it more accessible. Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's like it's the blessing and the curse of comics. We've talked about this before, that all that continuity, the years and years of continuity, it's daunting for anybody just, you know, walking in on it. It's like, what the hell? There's 60 years of comics that I got to read. No, you don't. But it's hard to explain that to a person. So the whole point of these books was to get people to, you know, here's a starting point for you. Of course, it became weighed down by its own continuity and kind of collapsed in on itself. That and the fact that there was an arc called Ultimatum, written by our friend Jeff Loeb, which effectively wiped out half of the Ultimate Universe
in one wave.
Yeah, like literally, I think they said that he killed 34 characters in like the span of like 3 books or something like that. Like it was like just wiped him out. Well, and this ultimately leads to the Reed Richards of the Fantastic Four, the Ultimate Fantastic Four. He goes crazy. Like he tries to propose to Susan Storm. She's like, nah, I'm not doing it, bro. We're done. And he basically becomes a villain out of this.
Yeah, he proposes to her
at her dad's funeral.
It's like horrible timing, dude.
Yeah, it's like, dude.
Yeah.
And then he faked his own death and exploded his own house, and then got burned by Johnny Storm.
Yep.
And then that's what kind of became
he just goes all Looney Tunes. Yeah, it becomes Looney Tunes after that. There's actually a lot of convolution over like what is his true first appearance, like as the Maker, because is it Ultimate FF number 1? Is it that Ultimate Marvel team up that Bendis did? Is it Ultimate Comics Ultimates number 2, where he's actually coined the Maker? You know what I mean? Like there's like a lot of back and forth about it.
That's what was good about that timing though too was at that time, Ultimates was really or the Ultimate Universe was a hard read. It was because of the continuity, but also a lot of the characters were going a little bit too much. Like it was some weird stuff they were doing with Ultimates, and started like the revamp of it though a little bit with the Maker. I think it's got me back into it.
Yeah, well, and that's where again John Hickman is now writing Ultimate Comics Ultimates. He has his villain, the Maker. This goes on. You know, he becomes the villain for a while. This eventually leads, you know, of course, all to Secret Wars. And there's a point to all this as we're getting, I apologize, but because we got to give context. Ultimately, we get to a book called Secret Wars in 2015 that Jonathan Hickman writes. And this is where Marvel's like, okay, that Ultimate Universe we had, the only thing that's really positive out of there is Miles Morales, basically the Ultimate Spider-Man. We should just put him in the 616. So they have this like big universe, multiverse event where they're able to crash realities together and chop off all the different incursions and all that kind of stuff, and it would basically merge Miles into the 616, and they just do away with this Ultimate Universe, kind of.
Yeah, and Gene,
Kind
were you able to like follow along with all that stuff? Were you following along, like reading that stuff? Like, what did you think of all that stuff?
For like the Maker and like Ultimate and how it
Yeah,
ends.
yeah,
Secret Wars
for Secret Wars and stuff.
Yeah. So
there's a lot of stuff.
It's crazy. It's crazy to like.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like we'll backtrack. Like Ultimate Spider-Man, I read pretty much from beginning to end. Some of the Miles issues kind of skipped around here and there, just kind of like growing up and losing interest and then coming back in. But made sure to like go back to it or like borrow it. But yeah, no, that was all good. Everything with like I hated Ultimatum. Ultimatum was like I don't know why I bought all 5 issues when I was a kid. That was dumb. Waste of money.
Not good.
But like Ultimate Comics seemed like a good enough relaunch and everything, and then it like just kind of floundered with the other. Yeah, so it was kind of a good shot in the arm. And then it was also like the stuff with the Maker. Actually, I really enjoyed the Maker is like such a great character. Just at like if we could just have like
evil Reed Richards,
yeah. If we could just have evil Reed Richards and Miles from that universe, that's pretty good. Like, but
that's all that came out of it.
Yeah, and then I got back into it during Secret Wars, so I kind of like weave in and out,
Well, after Secret Wars, they did kind of. It's like even though it's like all of reality is a shared reality, they did allude that nope, the Ultimate Universe still exists, and actually they brought back, and I understand, Peter Parker back to life, and he's one of the Ultimates over there. But the Maker kind of shifts between realities. He goes between the Ultimate Universe and the 616. And he actually becomes a villain in the Venom book that Donny Cates was doing for a while. Of course, Donny Cates was actually going to relaunch the Ultimate Universe, because it was alluded to at the end of the book that like, that the Maker heads back to the Ultimate Universe. He's going to amass his forces and he's going to take over the 616.
I kind of remember some stuff like starting off like that, and then it kind of not.
Well, you know what happened, right?
Yeah.
So
I don't know what happened.
Donny Cates unfortunately got in a really bad car accident and like literally got amnesia. Like it was like doesn't remember. Like, I wrote this. I don't remember this. And like it's really crazy. Like literally just like I don't remember writing any of this. Like he's like having to like remember stuff. But at this point, like, well, we got to relaunch the Ultimate Universe. So they go, Hickman, yo, you kind of created the Maker. What's up? And he's like, all right, here's what we're gonna do. And so this is all a prelude to Ultimate Spider-Man, the book that he's doing. He does a book called Ultimate Invasion with your boy, Brian Hitch, Josh.
Yeah, my boy.
Yeah,
it was also, he's a Ultimate OG as well, because he was the artist on the Ultimates.
Yes, exactly.
1 and 2.
Yes, 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Ultimate Invasion was the precursor to all these different books that are coming out. It gives you what happened, and basically the Maker just shifts everybody's origin so they don't have one.
Yeah, basically he's in the 616. He's a prisoner. He's like, cool, I'm busting out. And he busts out of prison and he makes a break for it. And like the Reed Richards of our universe, the 616 is like, you can't do this. He's like, if you had a chance to kill me, would you? He's like, yeah, absolutely. It was like, cool, I'll remember that. Bye. And he just jumps and he creates his own universe, basically goes into Earth 6160 and basically recreates reality. He has a time machine that he's able to go through, and he's able to stop Peter Parker from being bitten by the spider when he's a teenager. He's able to stop the Fantastic Four, delay their launch so they don't get hit by the cosmic rays. He's able to
most of them get killed on the accident.
Exactly. He's able to change everything. He's not able to find Captain America, but he's able to at least get him from being broken out from the ice, post World War II. Yeah, he's not able to stop the Hulk, but he's able to like take the Hulk and use the Hulk as like a cult leader, basically. So this guy is basically, and he sets up Rasputin's, which is Magic and Colossus. They're in charge of what's up?
I said like it's so cool, like all the world building, right?
It's all crazy. He makes his own crazy Illuminati, like
he does. Yeah, it's so cool. And so he's like, okay, Norman Osborn's in charge of New York, and the Rasputins are in charge of Europe and or Eurasia, basically Russia, and like Sunfire's in charge of Japan, and it's like he's got his own little cabal of, like you said, an Illuminati. And so eventually what happens is the heroes of this universe, Howard Stark of all people, which is Tony Stark's dad's, like, something ain't right, and the far-flung future of Immortus or Kang send people to stop the Maker, and they're basically able to imprison him. Eventually, after a few skirmishes, are able to imprison him in this little city and we've got him stopped. We need to get heroes together now to stop him again. We've got 2 years to do it, and that's where Ultimate Spider-Man picks up with basically Tony Stark, who's now got the armor, and goes to Peter and says, "Hey, your destiny was taken from you." And that's where we pick up with Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, and he does it to a couple different heroes too. You find out like during Ultimates or these other books, and then you kind of see more of this cabal behind the scenes stuff of like what the Black Panther book has, the Moon Knight and
there's Moon Knight and Ra. It's Ra.
Moon Knight and Ra.
It's
Yeah,
Khonshu and Ra, Sun God and the Moon God.
Yeah, so stuff like that, which is, I mean, it's such a cool concept, and I think Jonathan Hickman has a really cool idea for this, and it's been really fun to read the different books and everything. And Jonathan Hickman is like he's becoming one of my favorite writers too, which is good because he does the highbrow sci-fi, but good. Like I can understand it.
Well, let's talk about a little bit about the creative teams. Gene, you mentioned the world building, and I think that kind of comes synonymous with John Hickman. Do you want to tackle that real quick, Josh?
Yeah. He's an American writer. He's known for his meticulous planning and epic events and stories and graphical layouts of his books. I mean, excuse me, his books are like very big and cerebral and complex, but also not accessible. Like Brian, what do you say about like
an accessible Grant Morrison is what I call
Grant Morrison, right? So he has like those high level ideas, but you can follow it. Like Grant Morrison, I need a compendium to the compendium just to understand this character that he's trying to do and understand the storyline sometimes. But Hickman is easier to follow, and he's mainly known for these current kind of reboot of the X-Men books with the Age of Krakoa. He did a bunch of his Future Foundation stuff with Fantastic Four. He did a great Infinity story with like Avengers and Thanos, and that was really fun. And with the what are they the creators,
the incursions?
The creator. Yeah, he started this whole incursion things, but also like who am I thinking of?
Gene, do you remember what they're called?
The incursions?
Yeah,
it's
the
part
creators.
Of that,
the
Beyonders.
The Beyonders.
But
the Beyonders create the incursions, and it's like the Beyonders create it, and then it's like the
Architects. No,
the Architect. It's so much more. It's so much like crazy stuff. Yeah.
But anyway, a lot of that stuff found its way into the MCU.
Yeah, exactly. Like the incursions, they started to kind of
they're doing that
everything. Right. And I love. There's this one part of I think it's Infinity, but it's Thor when he's coming in, like he's acting like he's surrendering, but he's actually threw his hammer like around the Earth, so it's coming around and having the gravity pull it, and then it does its full rotation and just hits the Beyonder from beyond. It's so he's acting like he's surrendered to buy time. It's a great moment. Like you're like, oh my god,
that's great
moment in his books.
What is your thoughts on Hickman, Gene? I mean, I know you kind of seem to speak highly of him, but what draws you to him?
Yeah, no, I think it's like, I mean, he's kind of like the Marvel Grant Morrison, in a way, where it's like maybe the closest thing you get, like, well, Grant, they do write for Marvel. They've done it before, but like just kind of
the new X-Men,
right? What Grant did for DC, I think Hickman does for Marvel, in just terms of like reinventing things, and also just kind of like making things very into complex and interesting things, like, or things that are goofy. Like the Beyonder is kind of a goofy
Goofy.
character.
What are you talking about?
Like,
Wearing that
yes,
70s, 70s polyester suit with the, the pop collar. It's not cool.
yeah, like, like in Secret Wars 2, he chooses to be white Michael Jackson. Like
Yeah.
he takes the form of Michael Jackson, but makes him like a Bond dude, and it's kind of like, what is going on? Jim Shooter, R.I.P. But that was weird.
Yeah.
Uh,
It was a choice.
It was a choice.
It was a choice.
But yeah, no, like for Hickman, it's just like he, looking it up, he's just like this dude from Texas, and like he has just like such a distinct vision for comics. Like, so many of his books, like say like Avengers or New Avengers, like they have things where it's like the map of the multiverse, or kind of like little like designs of like how the maker hierarchy looks, or just like stuff at the thing, and it's like that's really cool, and it's just like it feels like he challenges the medium and makes it like cool.
Yeah, I would definitely say that all of his books have that sort of graphical feel, like I think you had mentioned, Josh. Everything is laid out, like you said, and not only just like, just like the graphic, like, like the diagrams and all that, but even like the things where he has these not inner monologues, but like these memos within the books now. You know what I mean? Like memo to this, like, Nightcrawler, you see that a lot in the Krakoa stuff. You know what I mean? I really enjoy. Yeah.
He likes to do those what is it, like like you said, those charts and everything at the beginning and the back of the books, like there's always like a little file compendium of his books. And here's, I've been saying this for a while, if Hickman ever kind of goes back to DC, or goes crosses the line to DC, you know how killer of a Legion of Superheroes book he could write.
So yeah, you should.
I was gonna say, I'd say actually, I'd rather him do New Gods to be, or not New Gods. Yeah, the New Gods.
New Gods would be great too.
No one, and I mean this, no one has ever made the New Gods work, really. Not even Jack Kirby, who created it, has made the New Gods work.
The currently run is really good.
Yeah, but it's only a 10-issue miniseries, and it's kind of fizzling a little bit. Like the idea of like, was it Mr. Miracle on the run from Orion was great, but now it's kind of like, that's kind of been resolved. You know what I mean? Like that was a good idea, but now it's like, it's kind of limping along right now for me. That all said, like if someone's going to take the New Gods and the concepts around it and build some mythology around it, it would be Hickman. You know what I mean? That'd be my take, rather. What about you,
Green Lantern?
If like Hickman could do like a DC,
DC, but what would you want to do if it was in DC?
Well, Josh just said Green Lantern, so I cannot use that.
You can use it.
Said, no.
Compound on it.
You use Legion. I don't think he's ever written a DC book. Yeah,
he hasn't. He's Marvel or indie
Marvel.
Indie
Yeah.
books.
Well,
or his own self-published books.
You know what? Maybe just like pull like a like a Claremont and just like have him on Justice League just for the hell of it.
That could be great. Yeah,
because it's like I feel like just to see his take on like what they would fight as like for like threats and everything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, the primary artist on this book, moving on from Hickman, is, like I said, is an artist named Marco Cicchetto. Yeah, I'm not gonna do. No, that was how I was like, okay, I guess I always like Chichito or Chicchetto, not Cicchetto. I was like, okay. He's an Italian artist known for his clean and realistic art style, explosive action sequences, and detail. He's worked on books like Daredevil, Devil's Reign, Punisher, as well as a few Star Wars minis. And most of all of his work has also been at the House of Ideas, aka Marvel. What do you take? What's your take on Marco, for at least for the Spider-Man book, Gene?
I really like his artwork. I think it's like I think it's really like neat and just kind of because it kind of looks like I don't want to like make compare him to other artists, but it reminds me of Brian Hitch, where it's like there's so much like detail, and this book is also like it's a Spider-Man book and I love it. But then like all Spider-Man books, it's kind of like a drama, Yeah, it's basically like a family drama, and he really grounds like Peter's expression or like him or his. I love the kids. The kids are great. Like they remind me of like my I call them my nephews, but it's like my cousin's kids, and like they're like being like annoying, or they're like kind of like being like bratty, or it's just like they really capture like how like kids act, or stuff like Mary Jane as like a mom or whatever. Like it's really cool. So yeah, I feel like he brings like into reality, and he has like really cool designs. Like I love like how Shocker looks,
Yeah, that Shocker
or
was cool.
Goblin,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
freaking like Mysterio. He's like he
Yeah.
does what like Mark Bagley did.
Yeah.
For the original Ultimate Spider-Man, just like reinvents things. I think that answers it. You know?
It's funny, one of the criticisms I saw, not of Chichetto, but of Hickman, was that while he's very good at like big, epic web based, and I mean like webbed out stories and like just all these things.
Pun intended.
He's not good at the character moments, and I'm like, that's kind of bullshit, especially with this book, because like when you brought up Shocker, it reminded me there's that great scene where Peter goes up and he sees the Shocker and he's like, hey man, you can't be breaking his building. He's like, you know what? You're right. I should go home to my wife. Really? It's gonna be that easy? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You left your keys? You lost your keys?
But then I love that there's a follow-up to it again. He's like, hey, I was like, yeah, I'm really sorry about that. He's like, my wife is sick. It's the only thing I can do to make money. He's like, oh, really? Is that what's going on? No.
Yeah.
It's like, Peter's just like, come on, twice in a row? What am I, an idiot?
It's so good. It's such a good recurring bit. Also, I think like Shocker is such an underrated villain in general, right? Like he's just like, he's just like a regular guy criminal. Like he doesn't have any motivation beside, like he's not Norman.
Rob a bank.
He just wants to get money.
Yeah. He's so good in Sinister Foes of Spider-Man. If you want a great Shocker,
the superior foes,
superior foes of Spider-Man, he's just amazing in that.
Josh, what are your thoughts on the artist?
I really like the artist, and I really like the artist for this book. Like you said, the details, and I like the way how it's the inks are dark, but they're not thick. If that makes sense, it's very pencil inked kind of artistry, which you see like in the it's kind of a lot in the colorist too, but it reminds me a lot, like you can have this artist and then like Sarah Pichelli, I think are very kind of close into looks of their art, which I like. I think they're both work really well with these type of books, especially Spider-Man. He does the movements of Spider-Man very well. And he gets it down, and like we were saying, the designs of the characters, and then I like the mainly like the facial feature, like the faces of everybody. They're very emotive and very well done. Like the scene where Ben is talking with J. Jonah Jameson, just kind of like, what do we do? Because J. Jonah just
quit.
He just quit. So it's just that little, just emotive, and just like the truth and all that stuff. It's great, and I liked his stuff with Daredevil, and Devil's Reign was really good too. So
I agree with both of you. I think that his realism lends itself to these kind of characters. Like I don't think he would do well like on an X-Men book or a book like Superman, if that makes any sense. Like it's leaner characters, or characters that are human, I guess is the word for it. Like you said, Punisher, Daredevil, which is all books he's done. It's Punisher, Daredevil, Spider-Man. I do think he reminds me a little bit, and it's gonna sound weird, but like he's like the Marvel version of Dan Mora, and not necessarily because of his art style, just because he does like almost every cover for Marvel. Like, there's always like alternate covers by him, and Dan Mora does like all the alternate covers from DC. Just
I don't know when weird. Dan Mora has any time to do actual interior stuff.
That guy covers
all the time.
He does 2 books almost a month too.
High profile books too.
Well, and I read the reason is because he goes like from straight sketch to like just laying the inks down, look over the sketch. He doesn't pencil. He just like, here's my sketch, and now I'm laying the inks right over it. So he just goes, he skips like an entire process. But anyway, I digress. Should we talk about the actual book itself and some of the changes to the character?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Let's talk about Peter Parker. Ultimately, you brought this up earlier, Gene, that this is a Peter Parker who is much older. He's essentially 35, married with kids, when he is suddenly given this opportunity to become Spider-Man. And they allude to it. You see Uncle Ben kind of talking a little bit, like he's like, on, so if you're walking around half asleep and anesthetized by your own life, wake up. He also says inaction is action. You have to do something. If you think you've been something's been taken from you. What are you going to do? And yeah, as you said, like he's 35 and he's suddenly given this opportunity to become Spider-Man. Does he take it or does he not? You know, with you, Gene, did this work for you? Like, did it work? You know, him being an older Spider-Man, or do you prefer seeing him as, like you said, a teen?
Well, I think just in terms of this book, just kind of being like this alternate like reality, I think it really works. If I have a preference, I don't know. I mean, we've been seeing this character be like 15 to 25, maybe like 27 at most, for the last like 60 years.
60 years.
And it's just like, you know, me, and it's like, yeah, 1965. Yeah,
61 or 62.
Yeah.
61 or 62.
He's been around a while.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, just kind of, I'm thinking out loud here because it's just like, I'm really trying to go with my gut. And, you know, fans have told Marvel, just make it like, we're not asking like him to have like a mortgage or like, you know, have like, you know, kid or no, you know, not having him like age up, but just get him like, you know, let him like, I don't know. Grow naturally. Like, I know we're in a sliding timeline, but it's like, he doesn't have to be unemployed all the time, or doesn't need to like have like, you know, Back to the Bugle, but it's like he also created like he was a CEO for like 5 minutes, and it's like,
Yeah,
you know, it's like, what are you guys doing? Because it's like, what do you want? Because it's, you know,
he definitely gets rubber bounded around. This is the original Spider-Man we're talking about.
Yeah,
as well,
the original Spider-Man, not Ultimate Spider-Man. Just to reiterate, but yeah, you know, I think I do like him. I mean, I like both. I think seeing him as an adult 35, I might have a little bit more of a preference to now, considering I'm getting older.
Yeah.
So I think that could be that would be the answer. I thought.
But yeah, no, there's no wrong answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Brian, what
about
about
you, Josh?
Okay. I beat you to it.
No, look, I've always loved the progression of Spider-Man because it is, you know, you start off in the early years, it's like he's in high school, then he goes to college, and then he doesn't actually graduate college, he misses it by 2 credits, you know, but then like his life grows from there, and then he becomes like, he gets married to Mary Jane, you know, and then even from there, it's like it still continues to grow, and their relationship goes up and down, and then he becomes a school teacher at one point. And then Marvel decides to throw it all away, you know, at a certain point, because they're like, well, it needs to be a swinging bachelor because that's what people want. It's like, no, I don't like that. I liked that he grew with us, you know, as an audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
And it feels like such a regression of the character. And then again, we're talking about the 616 Marvel, to just throw away all that character growth, and you know, for just because they wanted to be able to date. Okay, that's cool. It's like it didn't work for me. So to have this version of Ultimate Spider-Man, where he is a 35-year-old man who has 2 kids and the responsibilities that come with that, he's married to a very loving wife who loves him very much. It's like, I love this. You know, we talked about, you know, sorry, Josh, I'm going to just ran tangent just a little bit. We talked about this a little bit with the Superman movie. One of the best things about the Superman book was that, like, they did, like, he got married to Lois Lane, and now he has a kid, and it was so good. And the worst thing they did to that was that they aged up his kid.
Yeah. Oh, they made Jonathan Kent like 22 or 21.
Yeah, or 18, 19, when, you know, Damien's still like 11 or 12 or whatever it is.
But,
yeah, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It was like, that was the worst decision they could have made. You know, and Marvel did something similar with Franklin Richards. They made Franklin Richards from a little kid up, and he comes back to like 18 or 19 as Psylord. And luckily, Marvel realized that, like, okay, that was a dumb decision, and they de-aged him. No reason Marvel or DC can't do that with Jonathan Kent, but I digress. I love the 35-year-old man with a beard who is trying to raise kids while being a superhero. Josh, your turn.
My turn.
My turn.
Yeah. We can't go down that again. That was like 3 minutes that we just did. No. I always liked different sides of characters that we know, or just different takes on characters that we know, and just the origins have been very established in our heads and in pop culture. So I liked the older Spider-Man. It's Brian, you touched on this. It's funny how Marvel gives us a taste every time, but then they feel like we don't like it for some reason, or
Yeah.
the fans don't like it. I don't know if it's because of sales. I don't know if it's something, but they always try to retract, like you said, rubber band them back and then that's when fans get pissed. It's like it's happened again recently with the 616 Spider-Man, and it's not Parker luck, it's like editorial misconduct. It's very it's hard to progress with him as a fan when he regresses constantly.
Yeah.
Well, because we're all growing as an audience.
Yeah.
Like
we're
whether
aging
or not,
out.
Yeah.
And there's other ways to go back. Like you don't have to yes, you have to keep, going with the next generation and stuff like that. But there's different ways to do it, like Ultimate Universes. Like that's the reason why I think Ultimate Spider-Man, the first one, did really well, because it went back for a new generation. You can do there's a reason why the main Earth is 616. There's at least 616 other Earths, or 615 other Earths. I know.
Before that,
I know. I'm saying just at the very least. At the very least, it's not. And you could have different worlds, different Spider-Man origins, different things. Like you don't have to
into the
have,
Spider-Verse.
Yeah, you don't have to have two different versions of Ultimate Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to keep going to Ultimate Spider-Man or Ultimate this. It's again, and you can still keep the 616 going. Again, he doesn't have to always be the down on the luck guy. Maybe CEO. That's great, and that kind of lasted. But of course, he has to like lose it in like this weird fashion, or he has to have Mephisto kind of take away his marriage. When did Brian, did you hate his marriage to Mary Jane?
I absolutely loved his marriage to Mary Jane. I absolutely love Mary Jane. What about you,
and
Gene?
then
Do you love Mary Jane?
Did you like his marriage to Mary Jane?
I did, yeah. I mean, I grew up with the JMS Spider-Man, so yeah.
So 3 out of 3 fans right now like the marriage, and it needed no change. So I mean, the biggest change before that was the whole him, giving away his secret identity, which was it's also a progression.
It's a growth. It is a growth.
It's a growth. Good or bad, and it didn't need to have that. It seems like they were looking for a reason, and that was a bad reason.
Well, and as I teed it up in the intro, it is such a convoluted thing. Like, I'm the devil and I'm after souls, but what I really want is your marriage, and I'll give you what exactly editorial needs. You know what I mean? Like, it was such a stupid, convoluted way. And we're talking about the story one more day. Go ahead, Josh.
I'm saying I'm the devil, but I care about Spider-Man. Like
Spider-Man's marriage, no less.
And
I'm gonna erase. I'm not gonna only just erase that. I'm gonna erase everybody's memory of who you are. It was such a fucking like Deus Ex Machina. Like, we're gonna solve all our editorial problems.
And that was Quesada.
Yeah, and also bring out and the cost of this is we'll give you Aunt May back who died. It's like,
you got you got Harry.
You
got Harry for a cool minute. He came back from the dead.
It was great how that happened. Yeah, that worked out well with Scourge or whatever he turned into.
Yeah, Scourge, and then he's dead. He's dead again, I think, right?
Yeah,
I think is he still around? I don't even know anymore.
Exactly.
That's the point. Norman's back, definitely. Norman's definitely back.
Yeah, I was gonna make the joke that like someone told me this, or me and my friend were talking about it, where the last like 15 or 20 years of Spider-Man comics are editors making insane decisions, making good writers make sense of it.
Yeah, it's a dartboard.
Yeah. Well, because you have people from everyone from Dan Slott, Nick Spencer, JMS, Mark Waid, they're all trying to tackle this character. Zeb Wells, which whatever.
Plead the fifth.
Look, just clone him. At the end of the day, just clone him.
Yeah. No, the easier solution to all of this, and I don't want to see them divorced, but the easier decision would have been Mary Jane and him have problems. They separate and they go for trial separation. Then it's like, maybe they work it out, maybe they don't, but they're living on she goes back to LA to become a model or an actress or whatever. And he's now on the East Coast. I guess I'm single again. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, and that would have been it. And then like later on, you know what I mean? Like, or the alternate to this, which they did this because you have the Spider-Girl comic book where
Mhm.
they gave him a daughter, Mayday Parker, or you have the Renew Your Vows comic book, which was supposed to be just a mini series in which Peter and her stay together and they have a kid. It did so well that they did it as an ongoing.
Right.
It was originally just supposed to be a mini series, and like this what should have been just a mini series turned in. That's how popular the idea of him being with Mary Jane is. So obviously we're on alignment here. So when I see Ultimate Spider-Man, this
Yeah.
35-year-old
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
still married to his wife that loves him and he loves her, and their love is so great they've had 2 kids, and they go through all the stuff that we go through as adults. It's like, damn right, I'm gonna like this Spider-Man more.
Yeah.
You know what
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean?
It
Oh,
also
yeah.
gives so much gravitas to his decision to become a hero. That's what I like
Yes.
too.
That was the next point.
It was his decision to put himself in this life when his life was already, for better or for
Perfect.
worse,
Perfect.
Peter Parker perfect. PPP.
Yes. PPP.
I mean, that's what he wasn't an accident. It wasn't a kid on a nerd trying to be somebody else. He had his life. He had the safe life, and he chose to do something different. And I think that's what gives this book that one that it gets it to 11.
Additional.
Gets it to
Well,
11.
it goes to, again, what I was talking about, agency. Like I said, the fact that he didn't stop the burglar, that was agency. This is him being like, I can say no or I can say yes, because essentially what happens is Tony Stark shows up on his doorstep and says, here is the spider that was supposed to bite you and turn you into a hero. Your future was stolen from you. It's your decision whether you want to do it or not. And he's like, I've got my Peter Parker perfect life, but something's missing.
Yeah.
And and he does it. He decides to go, yep, bite me, and let's go from there.
Yeah. Like, it's like, I think
Bite
he just he describes it like a void in his life. Like, if
Yes.
it's like, I think it's like the first issue where
Mhm.
it's like, I think that's like, maybe, if I'm wrong, I remember in the first Matrix, because this really reminds me of like Neo choosing the blue pill.
True on the bill.
But it's like, it's like Morpheus gives him the choice of like, you could take the red pill, or no, it's like you could take the blue pill and things will go back to normal, or you could take the red pill and then you could unlock like everything. And also too, like him getting the spider, he's not gonna like give away his kids. It's not like whatever. It's just like who he's supposed to be, his potential. So I love that, and he chooses, power and responsibility. So
Yep. Well, as I say, one of the things I also loved about that is like, so along with the spider, he's also given essentially not the symbiote costume, but a very advanced,
the ultimate version of the symbiote costume. It turns out
ultimate version of the symbiote costume, essentially, but it's tech. But like, well, at one point he's asked like, why was I given this? And Tony Stark's reply is like, because you were number 1 on the list of all the heroes that were wiped off the map, that were stolen from this reality.
yeah,
You were number 1.
yeah.
Wait,
He's
it
Spider-Man.
makes sense.
He's Spider-Man. He's the most.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the most important hero, I think, in the Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, if you look at his history,
sorry.
no,
I was going to say he's the anchor beam.
oh goodness. No, it works. It works because if you look at his history, the thing back just to the one-offs of the Marvel team-ups, and in any of the Marvel team-ups, it's always been, or the majority have been Spider-Man. Like that was his main character of the book, or they started the last Ultimate Universe with his book. He's being constantly the most popular hero. I think
It's because of his everyman nature.
Right.
Every hero, when I say hero, I'm sorry, for the most part, every fan can look at Spider-Man and say, I can identify with him. I can walk in his shoes. He was the nerd that was picked on initially, but it's like, I think even beyond that, where he's like, hey, I'm, kicking ass as Spider-Man. I'm ripped and all that. We still saw ourselves within him. Like he's put in this improbable situations and he still manages to smile, or not smile, but at least make a joke out of it and still survive. And that's what he is. And this 35-year-old version of him is, I hate to say, but it's our audience. We are that audience still. Like, hey, I identify with that character.
Yeah. No, and also too, as I get older, like I relate even more with Spider-Man, because it's like, him clipping, him like saying wisecracks. It's like that's coping, and it's like it's kind of like how I feel now, where it's like I know things are pretty bad, and it's like, I know things are like, current event wise, we won't get too much into it, but like, as long as I could still joke and I could still
Yeah.
make a joke and like laugh and send memes to people, I think like, you could cope with life.
Yeah.
Like, people living, in other parts of the world, they can't even joke, sometimes. Like you can't make a
No,
meme in like North Korea.
No.
Yeah.
Well, some
You know?
people are fighting for water right now,
Yeah.
or food, or whatever. It's like if we, yeah. I mean, hell, we're literally recording a podcast about a comic book character. I mean, like
Yeah.
that's our lives right now,
Yeah.
as it stands.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I will say that I did think, just to bring us back into the book, I do like that they kind of shout out the one more day concept. So the whole concept where, like, again, Mary Jane and him split because of the devil and all that was called One More Day. And at the end of the second issue, where he's still trying to be Spider-Man and he's getting his butt kicked by Shocker left and right, the aforementioned Shocker, it literally, he's like, maybe I should just give this up. And there's a note from his daughter, who knows who he is at this point.
Yeah,
And
she caught him.
She
He was
caught
eating
him.
ice cream in
Yeah.
like his living room, and she came out.
She came. She catches him, and first she's scared because, like, this is the monster that she's seen in the newspaper. But then he's able to, like, no, I'm not. Like, I'm trying to help out. And she leaves a note for him, basically, like, saying, "Keep doing it, Daddy." And he's like, "You know what?" And he's like, "I could quit, but maybe I'll give it one more day." I'm like,
Right.
bam! That is a shot across the bow at Spider and
Love it.
Well, and also, I mean, the Spider-Man book at this time too is a really hard read. The 616 Spider-Man at this time, so there's like this is the good Spider-Man book, and this is the quality of it. You just you're like you're saying, you're so mad at the current version of it that you just have to go through the escape of the ultimate version to escape from a comic. And we've joked around it, but it's hard to read. The current Spider-Man is just hard to read.
It's I will say, with Joe Kelly writing the book right now, it's a little bit better, but again, I just don't want to see a swinging bachelor Spider-Man. It's like you said, it's regressive, and honestly, like, I like seeing him with kids. I mentioned this with Superman, but even as a father right now, I just had my second one. Like, I want to see. I don't want to say I need to see myself in every character, but it's nice to see, characters with the same struggles I face. And
it's easy to connect.
It is, and also it gives it. Not that I want these kids put in danger or anything like that, because I don't. But it does add stakes to it, and I think it's the stakes you had mentioned earlier. One of you said where he's got the Peter Parker, like he could say, no, I gotta put this thing away because I gotta protect my family, but he instead says, no, I need to be here to protect my family. You know what I mean? In a weird way. If that makes sense. I don't know.
And speaking of that too, this is not the only version that Spider-Man has had a kid, right? Like
No.
You mentioned Mayday Parker, and that was a pretty long run too, right? Spider Girl was
long. It was like, I want to say it was like 80 issues or so, and then they brought it back again.
Right.
And that book is excellent.
Excellent. I think that's a very unappreciated whole.
Absolutely.
It was Ultimates before Ultimates, right? It was
it was the MC2 is what it was called.
MC2. That's right. Yeah, and
there was A Next. A Next was the Avengers team. There was the Fantastic Five, and I believe there was a Juggernaut book as well, like J2 or something like that.
Right, J2 and stuff. Who was also part of A Next?
The son of Juggernaut, his son of King Marco.
So stupid. Just like his name's not even.
Yeah. But he wore flannel like around.
Yeah, cool. He had flannel that was.
I love comics. I love comics to death. Like, I feel like you've probably said this, Brian, but like they're so fucking weird.
They are
fucking weird. Like, there's when you break this down, like there's a dinosaur man. There's a Juggernaut too.
I mean, if you break it down, like even currently, there's a little girl who's super smart and has a dinosaur as a pet.
Moon Girl.
So I mean, that's what makes comics fun, which is great. But and then it was like you just mentioned the one where they're actually married that turned into an ongoing series. They had a daughter in that one too, and then
Renew
Vows, and then there's the old Parker in the Spider-Man movies, the Beyond the Spider-Verse movies too.
You mean Peter B. Parker?
Peter B. Parker, yeah, which is amazing.
Dude, that's my spirit animal right there. The Nick Miller
And the Nick Miller
Spider-Man
Spider-Man is amazing.
is my spirit animal. I absolutely love that.
So what else?
Well, speaking of the other, go ahead.
What the other stuff that's like very different and very crazy different.
Big change of the lore is two things, and they're kind of go hand in hand. Is J. Jonah Jameson and Uncle Ben.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this sort of dynamic duo, as it were, Gene?
Well, first let's point out that Uncle Ben is alive, and
Alive.
Aunt May is dead.
Yes.
Yeah,
Big
which
twist.
I don't think they've really explored. They just said it was like kind of
it was there was the explosion that happened when Howard Stark trapped the Maker. There was a big explosion. That's what killed Norman, and that's what also killed Aunt May.
Okay, there's it's like a 9/11-esque kind of like memorial kind of thing.
Okay, I stand corrected.
No, yeah.
But the thing is, I'm kind of confused. To be fair though, Gene, I'm a little like shaky on that continuity too, because like the fight happened in the city in Latveria, so why is this happening in New York? You know what I mean? Like I'm a little lost on that continuity. So maybe we missed something. I don't know. I was trying to reread it in time, but it was
blamed on Howard Stark or something. Or
maybe
they haven't gotten into it yet.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah, there we go. But what do I think of Uncle Ben and
then follow up J. Jonah?
Uncle Ben and Jameson being friends, or is it just kind of like just seen there? Just to reiterate, sorry.
Okay, I mean, so we got So for those of you who know, like you said, Uncle Ben, he died in the 616. He's very much alive and well, and he is J. Jonah Jameson's basically partner at the Bugle at this point. And J. Jonah Jameson is not the asshole Well, he's an a-hole, but he's just not the a-hole to Parker that we've grown to know over the years. What do you like? Do you like this take on them?
Okay. Sorry. I'm like, I have Comic-Con brain right now, which is like,
all right, rub it in. All right.
Yeah, I got 5 o'clock. I got 5 a.m. brain.
You're like, I have
Comic-Con. We get it, Gene. Rubbing it in. Maybe us two guys who didn't go.
Yeah, no,
I'm not bitter.
BComp's like, I got newborn dad brain right now.
And I have no excuse.
You got a new dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that was like a long time. No, I'm past that threshold.
But yeah, I really love just seeing Ben still alive, because it's like when I look back on like those like like stuff like Cliff Robinson playing him in the Raimi ones, that's such a warm character, and that's like certain movies and certain comics, the first Ultimate Run, you saw more of him. Like he dies long. He takes longer to die than 6 issues or 5 issues. He has the ponytail. He was a hippie. So I really enjoy this thing about Ben, because it like reminds me of, it's like almost like kind of like if you lose like a older like relative, this is kind of like, it's like, what if he survived, or what if he lived longer? And this is kind of like exploring that. So not to get like a little like emotional, but I'm like,
no, get emotional, please. Yeah. I'm not trying to be sarcastic either.
Oh no, yeah.
Absolutely.
No, yeah, so it's like I really dig it, because it's like stuff where it's like, oh, like you have like more time with your grandfather or like like that. So I kind of like that. And for Jonah, it's like I love Jonah, because it's like he's such, what I was gonna say, I hate what the MCU has done to Jonah, because they make him fucking Alex Jones. Like that's so terrible. Like that's like the worst, because it's like, one, he's not. Two, it's like he's actually a journalist. He like practices fair journalism, or like a fair shot. He just doesn't like Spider-Man. That's his one blind spot. So it's like, fuck it. He's not prejudiced. He doesn't be prejudiced against like mutants or whatever. It's just masked heroes he has a problem with for a variety of reasons. But this Jonah is cool. Just seeing him be like specifically a journalist, and especially how, sorry, I keep like bringing up current events, how like stretched thin we are getting with current journalism and censorship. It's really cool to just have like a cool journalist character in, because it's like, that's fucking cool. Like Woodward and Bernstein are fucking cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
They took down Richard Nixon. Like they wrote a book.
It's funny because they started, the Jonah Jameson and Ben, like you're saying, they started because they're getting censored. They're like, we're getting too censored of the truth, so we're gonna do our own thing. So like you're saying,
the paper,
it's the censorship,
and I love the title of like the paper. Like that's so cool.
I think it's the irony. I love that they're like, yeah, it's ironic that it's the paper, but we're not in print.
Yeah,
Only
it's
on
digital.
online only. It's digital.
I think it's like Gwen or something, because Gwen
it's
in
Gwen
this
who does it.
reality is like a PR manager, right? Basically.
Yeah. Well, Mary Jane's
Mary
Jane's
Jane's the PR.
Oh, that's right.
And
that's
then
right.
Gwen's the she's the money. She's
the
basically the stakeholder
CEO.
behind
That's
of
right.
Osborn, essentially. Osborn.
That's right. Okay. Like Gwen tells him, like, that's a cool title. But yeah, I
That
love
doesn't-
also the dynamic between the two, because it's like, when because you've read all these Spider-Man character comics, and he has like the best supporting cast. But like when you look back, like some of these characters, they never interact with each other. Like I don't think like Aunt May has met like Black Cat, or Flash met Harry one time, but they're both supposed to be like, or not Flash, Eddie Brock met Harry Osborn, and it's just like these characters have been around for so long, and it's like, you're telling me you never met like this character or like whatever. And it's so cool, like, to have Jonah and Uncle Ben interact with each other, because they're kind of the base. Well, Uncle Ben for sure is like his father figure, but also Jonah is also kind of like a bit of a paternal father figure for him, in most comics, because it's like, for better or worse, like he does,
he cares about Peter.
Cares about Peter, like in his own way. He keeps hiring him, even though he underpays him. So he's kind, he takes him under his wing. So it's cool to see these two characters who are basically like his father figure, because his dad's still not around. Interact. So it's really
definitely
cool.
give like old war buddy vibe.
Oh yeah, they do.
That's what I like about it. It's like they have the unspoken
They've
language
been in the trenches.
Yeah. I'm gonna be a nerd. I'm like, they both went to the Sin Kong War together. If you guys know that, can I like go off on a tangent? Because it's like,
please.
We don't do tangents here.
We don't do tangents, or we don't digress on this show.
I know. No, I'll do it. I'll do it really quick. Cause
please.
I need to rant about this. And so Marvel is basically, what was like the thing Stanley and Jack Kirby thought about? It's this just outside your window. This could happen. They live in New York. Tony Stark was in the Afghanistan war. He was in the Korean War. And to update the sliding timeline, instead of just being like, oh yeah, he was in this war and he's in this conflict or whatever, it's not real. They decided to create C.B. Kowalski decided to create a fictional war within the Marvel universe that lasted.
We talked about it in our Punisher.
We talked about the Punisher book.
I hate that.
I was fine with it because it's so hard for like something like the Punisher. Like the Punisher, it's like unless he's so tied to Vietnam.
Sure. Yeah.
But I get it with like, it's funny with Tony Stark, it's just like, it was a conflict. Like it didn't really matter like what the conflict was. It was like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know. For Punisher, he could be like Grandpa Simpson on The Simpsons. Like they keep going, but it's like they keep updating, but Grandpa's still having World War II flashbacks,
That's true.
Or I don't know, give him like a Infinity Serum, like Nick Fury, or like, give him that.
I think that just takes him out of the street level though too.
Well, just do something. It's not real, but anyway, sorry.
But we digress.
Yeah.
I know all about that. Yeah, it was something they had, him and Mark Waid and Busick had worked together on the Iron Man book back when they did Heroes Reborn, or Heroes Return, excuse me. And then he finally got to put it into print when they did the History of the Marvel Universe. But I do hear what you're saying.
Thanks.
I'm fine with it, but I get what you're saying. It cleans up a lot of problems, but it
gives other problems.
Yeah. It's just me being like a stickler.
No.
Hey.
Dude, you have an issue with it. That's fine. You're on the right show for that.
Yeah.
I have issues.
When I was reading this book though too, now this is just probably just in my brain or something, but Uncle Ben, I think, looked like, and I had this voice in my head as like Peter Falk. He looked like Columbo a little bit, so I had that voice in my head.
That's kind of great.
One more thing.
Oh, please.
Oh no, I was doing the Columbo.
One more.
Yeah, I can't do a Falk. I can't do a Falk though.
He looks like Peter Falk. He looks like Columbo, like an old, And I like he has that energy too.
I was gonna say, I also like that Robbie shows up every once in a while too, and then you turned out like he has a completely other storyline.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's cool. Robbie's involved. He's Deep Throat. Oh, wait a minute. Which we could spoil that here or just move on.
Yeah, yeah.
No, spoil it. Do it.
Spoil it.
Well, leads into Robbie Robertson is obviously he was the editor in chief of the Daily Bugle, right?
Yeah.
Because Jonah was the publisher, if I'm correct. I could be wrong on that.
Ben was the managing editor.
The managing editor, that's right. Robbie was the managing editor, right?
No, Ben was.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like in the original continuity.
Oh, sorry, the original continuity. Yeah, no, he was. Yeah, it's Jonah was editor in chief, and then Robbie was his number 2. Yeah, the managing editor. Yeah,
managing editor. But I like that Robbie's in this book, and he's like, when they quit the Bugle because they can't publish the stories they want to do, Robbie's like, yeah, dude, I'm about a year away from retirement. Like, that's not happening. Right. Have fun, guys. And then it turns out, like, they get this, like, hey, we got some information. Here's the stories you can't publish, and we're giving to you. Oh, thanks, Robbie. And you're like, oh, Robbie's back in the game. It turns out Robbie is one of the Mysterios. And you're like, wait, what?
That whole revelation of Mysterios was great. And let's just use that to get into like talking about the different takes on the villains too, because this starts with like a different take on Bullseye, Kingpin,
multiple Bullseyes, right?
And also Green Goblin, which is Harry Osborn is very much different in this. He's a hero in this.
Yeah. So far.
So far, that's what I'm thinking. I think anything with like Green Goblin as like a hero or anything, I'm always waiting for the other shoe to drop, like that other personality or something.
Wasn't it Phil Urich? Was it like Ben Urich's nephew was a Green Goblin? He was a hero back in the Onslaught days
for 12 issues.
12 issues until he destroyed the armor to take out Sentinel.
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 It's like Cyclops is like, dude, I just took out 12. Like,
literally
16.
The last issue is him destroying like his glider and like to take out which, to be fair, hey, you know what? Good for him. That's some heroic shit right there. But like, I was like, I remember reading that. I'm like, well, that was fun.
That was a choice.
That was funny.
But anyway, yes, you were saying Green Goblin. Yeah, you typically though Green Goblins don't.
And throughout this book, I'm still waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm waiting for Harry to go bad, or I'm waiting for the inevitable clash between the two. Well, I don't. What do you guys? Do you guys get that at all, or anything?
I feel like there's going to be a shoe to drop. I feel like there's something has to happen that's tragic to Harry, because it's just Harry is just that character.
Well, you think Gwen's gonna die? Because he's married to Gwen in this book.
He's married to Gwen.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, I don't know if like he'll turn evil, but I feel like something in their friendship will happen.
Turn.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I mean, he's definitely also full disclosure, his armor that he wears, the Green Goblin armor, uses an AI'd version of his dad, who is of course just egging him on the whole time, like, some son you are,
Yeah, it's a different take on the multiple personality or the schizophrenia that he's like that Green Goblin.
Yeah,
is, so.
yeah, well, I love that too, because it's like it's kind of like a rainy sort of
Raimi-esque.
I would say. Yeah.
It definitely feels like he's trying really hard to do the right thing, but it doesn't help that his wife is kind of a villain, although she may or may not be.
Right.
It doesn't help that his father is like constantly, an AI version of his father is constantly needling him and belittling him. And it feels like he's like on that precipice of like, I don't want to jump, but I feel like I'm going to have to jump. So I agree with you. Like, I think there is going to be a shoe dropping point where he's just like, he's going to get envious of Spider-Man getting all the glory, or he's, because even with the armor, like, oh, he's like, I got this great armor. He's like, yeah, that's V1. V2 is over there with Spider-Man. It's like, wait, I've got the shittier armor? What the hell,
Right. Yeah.
But also, I think Spider-Man's going to have to stop him. I think that's what's going to happen. Like, I don't think Harry's going to be the one that turns. I think Spider-Man's Harry's going to be doing like caught up in something Mysterio-wise or something, and Peter's going to have to stop him. Okay. So that's the I think that kind of twist is going to happen. Inevitable. Like, I think it's going to be an inevitable clash. You can't have. He's the other side of the coin. He's the Joker to the Batman. He's the Lex Luthor to the, to the Superman. He's Spider-Man's nemesis out of all time.
Yeah. All right. I'll buy that.
Other
Do you
like, oh, sorry, you go.
I was just saying, do you like that Gwen's alive and kind of like, kicking it? Because it's like for
That's
such,
fine.
and I hate to say this, but it's like, for a long time at least in the 616, they built up like Gwen is like his ultimate love, and like she was died tragically,
Yeah.
and like, and it feels like at times it felt like, and I don't think it feels like that now, but it felt like at times, Mary Jane was always just like the runner up, you know what I mean? The redheaded
Yeah.
stepchild, for lack of a
She's
better
living
word.
in this. She's living in her shadow.
Pun intended.
Forever.
Yes, but yeah.
But I don't.
I don't get that energy with this book. But what do y'all think?
Well, I think the thing about Gwen being his ultimate love, I think it's more of she's the Jason Todd. She's his ultimate loss. I think the time where he hadn't. I mean, at the time he messed up with not messed up, but Captain Stacy died. Like, other than Uncle Ben, he hadn't had a big loss in his superhero career, and I think Gwen is the big loss in his superhero career, where kind of he had to change everything as well. So I think it's more of like I think more reminiscing of the mistake than the love. I think like that's how I interpret it more a little bit, and that's what helps me like Mary Jane more. So she doesn't come as second best to me as well. So I mean, I think it just helps that you think of like.
I just grew up with Mary. I grew up with Mary Jane. It's the way I look. Yeah, the way I like Kyle Rayner. The reason I like Wally West. It's the reason I like and so those are the characters I grew up with, and so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna give them the benefit of a doubt over the other character.
Yeah, same for me. Even though I do like Black Cat a little bit more. Well,
you're a cartoon guy though too. So Mary Jane was the cartoon
she
girlfriend.
was.
So was Black Cat. So
yeah, no, but I was also going to say like the thing that Stan or someone said on Spider-Man, the original run, where they're like, Gwen is kind of boring. She's kind of like boring, and she is, because it's like she's just perfect and good with everything, and then they'll go back. Then they'll go back and be like, oh, she had an affair with Norman Osborn.
And I'm like, we don't speak. Speaking of bad Spider-Man storylines, again, it's like.
That was JMS though.
No. It was Joe Quesada, because JMS was originally like basically, I want these kids to be Peter's kids, and they aged up because of radioactive whatever. And then Joe Quesada was like, no, you cannot have this character have kids. And then he was like, basically metaphorically put a gun to his head and be like, either make this Norman Osborn to kids, or like, you're done. So
don't know what Quesada had against Spider-Man.
Yeah. Hey, it's not in continuity anymore, so.
That's true. Well, and JMS, I was going to say JMS is coming back to Spider-Man for a little bit too. Yeah.
Is it Sinister 16 or something?
Something like that, yeah. I'm excited about that.
So we'll get Ezekiel back some way, somehow?
No,
back some way, somehow?
Yeah.
I'd be fine with that. Honestly, like if we got Peter Parker being a teacher again, I'd be really cool.
That'd be
like
great.
I like the idea of Peter as a teacher. It made sense as a progression of the character, but that's 616 when we're talking about 6160.
But speaking of Gwen just being boring, I think the Mysterio is a great twist.
I love that.
And I like the multiple Mysterios. I like it's like with the Now You See Me type of like society.
Well, I like there's like one scene where I love how they set it up to like there's a point where it's Norman Osborn, not Norman Osborn, but it's one of Wilson Fisk's flunkies or something like that, and he looks over at Mysterio when they're identifying like, oh, who's a part of Wilson Fisk's cabal of like taking over New York, and he's like, weren't you taller last time I saw you? Like, no, I wasn't. I'm like, oh, that's so great, like, ooh, there's someone's changing identities under that mask. You know what I mean? We don't know who it is. Then it turns out, oh, there's 8 of them or whatever.
It was Black Cat. It was like their version, like the man Black Cat's father or something. Yeah, he goes
Walter Hardy.
Shorter since our last meeting.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Of course not. Yeah,
of course not. It was to me when I read that originally. Is this like a Dread Pirate Reynolds or from The Princess Bride, where it's like someone's getting retrained in the Mysterio? Like, I didn't realize it was like, oh no, there's a group of them. Okay, that's cool too.
I just read that it's going like like a young Frankenstein. It's like, wasn't your hump on the other side? What hump? It's just that kind of like that quickness. But and more the Cabal too. There's a Black Cat. the man
Craven.
version. Craven, Mr. Negative,
Mole Man.
Mole Man,
Man.
which is great, and Bullseye.
Bullseye, there's a 6. Isn't there 6 or is it 5?
I guess Kingpin.
Kingpin,
Yeah,
Kingpin's the head of all the cabal.
Which,
which he takes over for Norman, correct?
After Norman gets pieced out.
Yeah, and then a villain, and also a villain turned hero, but also you're kind of waiting for a ball
Twist.
or the twist or the shoe to drop is Octavius.
Oh yeah,
Their man in the chair right now.
Which they definitely set that up when he lays out the Iron Spider armor for Peter. He's like, "Hey, I got this Iron Spider armor for you. It's got rocket launchers and legs and all this cool stuff." And he's just like, "Cool. Do you have anything just in spandex?"
Yeah, it's like, I'm good.
Which I'm like, okay, that's clearly setting up that Iron Spider armor to be Doc Ock's armor. That's which I'm fine with. Please do that.
Yeah, and it's. I like the back and forth. I like how he's their tech guy, and it's just another
the man in the chair kind
version.
Of thing.
Yeah, just another version of it, which I think is great.
Yeah.
So another thing they do with this book, besides all the character shifts and plots and all of that, and obviously there's a very detailed plot, is each issue takes place in that month. It doesn't end on the typical to be continued. Like, oh my God, I've got this knife above his head, and we'll pick it up like literally where the issue left off. What do you think? I'm going to actually pose to you, Josh, real quick. But what do you think of that? Do you like the lack of a to be continued? It's more like there's the story that happens, and we're going to pick it up 4 weeks later in continuity. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think of that?
No, I think that's a good vehicle for it. I think it's a good timeline, and it gives an extra life to the book where like these characters, like we are peering into a window of their lives and not every moment. So I think it's great. It kind of, it's like you're along for the ride in the timing, I guess, in timing. It just
time.
Like, I like it. I think it's fine. It also gives kind of self-contained stories in a way too. It's self-contained stories in a still a single continuity. So I like I like how they are using the news and stuff to kind of give you of what happened over the month. Harry and Spider-Man.
They'll still do flashbacks.
Yeah.
They'll still do flashbacks to the previous thing, but just advancing the plot like 4 weeks every issue. You know what I mean? Is it definitely is. What about you, Gene? What do you think about that?
They've been using it in like really cool and unique ways. I mean, besides like stuff where it's like it's cool to see like a Thanksgiving issue, or it's cool to see like a Christmas issue. Stuff like aspects of the story where like Peter was like when Craven kidnaps Peter and you jump to the next month and they're still missing,
still in that Savage Land or whatever it was.
And it's like, it's like really interesting to just see these time jumps, but then using them in the story to get more drama out of situations, I would say. Yeah.
I like it too, just because it does create like not a box, but it does put like very specific guardrails on how the writers have to write these issues. Cause it's like, you do almost have to have it self-contained. You can end on a to be continued, but guess what? That's not going to get resolved. It's the resolution is going to happen, and we're not, you know what I mean? Like they'll have to like, oh, remember that crazy thing that happened when Craven had a knife to my throat 4 weeks ago? Like,
right.
It's that thing. But I do like as well that it allows for the friendship of these characters to grow in between the issues. For it's like, because like he meets Norman for the first time, essentially in the first issue, and then they're friends. It's been a year has gone by. It's like, no, sorry, Harry, thank you, not Norman. But you that friendship has grown. It should have grown because a year has gone by, and obviously this is all because there's a ticking clock happening within the greater Ultimate Universe, which is in 24 months, the city is going to open, and that aforementioned maker we talked about is going to come back and rain down hell, on everyone.
And I love the gravitas of that. I love that ticking
clock.
Yeah, the ticking clock, the sense of doom. That's
well,
coming.
They even said that. They're like, do you, like at one point, like there's like a temporal incursion, and they're like, that has the same energy signal as the maker, and they're like, oh my God. And this is like one of the other books, and they're like, is it him? And he's like, and I think someone's response is, if it was him, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
So Really, 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 I enjoy. I like, mixing the kind of conventions of just the comic itself, not just the conventions of the characters, but the conventions of like comic book storytelling as well. I think that's really not, I think it's really neat. Um, do you have anything you want to add to before I jump into sort of accessibility, Gene? Or is there anything that you really loved about the book or we didn't talk about that you would like to highlight?
Hmm. Breaking my brain, thinking of notes that I made. It's just, I could just say it's really refreshing. Just as a fan, because Spider-Man fans, we've been in these streets, been fighting in the streets. You're just like good, like a good book, because it's like I look at all the, I already kind of like dunked down a little bit of the main continuity books, but it's like stuff where it's like, why is Mary Jane Venom? Like, why
Yeah.
is she like broken up
Why
with
is
Peter
Mary Jane
again?
Venom
Like,
and Jackpot?
yeah, it's just like
Why is she with Paul?
yeah, and like not even like because it's like it's not real. Like
Yeah.
I'm also like 30. Like this stuff. Like I don't care. Like I'm not gonna like write a message board thing of like you
Yeah.
suck Zeb Wells or whatever. It's like it's just like I don't like this. It's not for me.
Yeah.
Maybe some people do. It's like, but it's like
vote with your wallet is what I say.
Yeah, it's just nice to see like okay, everyone's like, yeah, I'm on board. This is cool. Like, and it's just cool to see like a nice Spider-Man book, and that's just well written and just makes me like passionate about the character again, and just I love everything they're doing, and yeah, I can't wait for more. I cannot.
Did you want to add anything to that, Josh?
Yeah, I like what they're doing with his nanites in the suit in the sun. I think it's kind of like it's going to possibly be, like we're saying, like a Venom situation. I like the creepy thing where he posed as Peter Parker during the Christmas party while he was taken from Craven and everything. I think that's gonna like. There's a lot of shoes that are about to drop. I think like Harry, Green Goblin.
One thing Hickman does really well is he sets up all those various threads and he's ready to pull them when he needs them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think also one thing we didn't really talk about this artist because they picked up, they were guest artists on a lot of stuff, was David Messina.
Yeah,
which he was good. I mean, it wasn't like an egregious like change where you're like, what's going on with this art? No, it was still good.
It wasn't jarring. It wasn't jarring.
Yeah,
it's like
he's still that kind of that sketchier, thinner line style thing you were talking about. I found his faces to be a little bit more whiter, if that makes any sense. But the one question I got to ask, this is just like accessibility. The whole reason of the original Ultimate Universe was about accessibility. It was about people who had never read a Spider-Man comic or had never read it, didn't know where to start. They could pick up that book and like, oh, okay, I get this. If you're a new fan, is this a Spider-Man book to start with? And that's kind of a question posed to both of you. I'll start with Gene.
I think so. I think like it's like the Superman movie that just came out. Like I think there was like a Kevin Feige quote where he's like, "You don't know who Mr. Terrific is? Deal with it." It's just,
Feige said that. That's great.
So it was like I think it was like a note came from James. He gave to James Gunn where he's like, I like this, that they're just introducing characters and not expecting their audience to know it, but it's just like, hey, it's just a character. Here's his backstory. And, it's not like anything where it's like outrageous or, like bad storytelling. It's just like, it's this a side character. We don't need to know everything. Like in Empire Strikes Back, we don't need to know everything about Boba Fett. He's just Boba Fett.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, this kind of just feels like a book where it's like you don't need to know who Sherman Schultz was or who like Dexter Poindexter is as Bullseye. It's just he's Bullseye, and we're throwing you into this world, and it feels very accessible. You should by osmosis or like whatever that's called. The Spider-Man origin already, so I think it is. I think it's less continuity too.
Yeah. What about you, Josh?
I think it's a mix. I think this one is a little bit harder to access than the first Ultimates one. I think, I mean, Gene, you're touching on this, but I think some of the characters to understand the impact, you kind of do need to know that they're trying, like the whole cabal, like the whole Illuminati, or just what the Kingpin, behind the scenes, even just the Maker. I think to understand the significance of those changes, because the whole thing is about change. So I think to understand why it's a big change, you kind of have to understand some of the origins of some of the characters, like the impactfulness of why it's Uncle Ben, impactfulness of Gwen Stacy. I think stuff like that, I think is a little bit, it's like a mix, but it's still done in a way where you can just jump in without knowing too much of the Spider-Man origin. So I think it's a mix. I don't think it's for baby blue new rookie comic book.
It's
fans.
If you've read a Spider-Man comic, though, you'd be fine.
I mean, honestly, if you've even like Gene, you said it before though too. Like everybody knows the origin of Spider-Man. If you don't, then
I don't know what
you're
to tell
new
you.
to pop culture. Like it's what it is. I mean,
you've been living under a rock.
Yeah, it's well-known origin. It's like Superman's origin, Batman's origin, Spider-Man's origin. I think those are the three everybody and anybody knows.
Yeah. I kind of touched on something you'd mentioned just with the Superman movie, Gene. I think someone said it. It's like when you're a kid reading a comic book, a lot of times you're not picking up issue 1, you're just like picking up issue 387 of Thor, and you're just like, I'm in the middle of the story. I don't know what happened before, but you're kind of giving context clues enough, and you kind of just go through the ride. And, oh, this is really cool. I want to go get more, like you did with chapter 7 of that Spider-Man book. I do think there's a lot of backstory to this that makes it a little bit like all the Ultimate Invasion stuff like that. I'm like, what? Like, who's this Maker guy? Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like, but I don't think you need it for this Ultimate Spider-Man book. I think the blurb is enough to be like, oh, some bad guy did some shit, and now Spider-Man is about to become Spider-Man. Okay, cool. I'm on board. I do think the ultimate Spider-Man is a great jumping on point for anybody who's never read a Spider-Man book. But if you've read a comic book or two in your time, this is a good place to jump on. This is, I think, though, dedicated to fans like all of us who want I don't want to say something new, but don't want a regressive Spider-Man, which is what we've been getting in the 616.
Yeah,
I think that's really for this. Real quick, what are our final thoughts? I mean, it sounds like we're all going to recommend this book, but Gene, you're the guest. What's your final thoughts and recommendations on this book?
Yeah, I think like you should definitely buy it as soon as possible, either like the trade or what have you. It's the best Spider-Man book you'll read if you like new and interesting.
You haven't read Rain? You haven't read Spider-Man Rain? Come on, get
it. Rain 2?
Oh no, they had a Rain 2. That's crazy. That's
they did.
Like, what is up with that? But anyway, just give it a shot. It's probably only going to be 24 issues apparently.
24 issues. Only 24
like,
issues.
What is that going to cost you? Like if it's like $100 or something.
Yeah. Well, I picked up the first trade off Amazon. They had like a sale on it like a week ago for like $7 for the first trade. I was like, yoink,
Do it.
What about you, Josh?
Yeah, I definitely would recommend it if you're a Spider-Man fan or wanting to get back into Spider-Man comics. I think this is like we've made jokes of how some of the bad Spider-Man stories, but there are really good Spider-Man stories, and I think this is one of them. I think for every bad Spider-Man story, there's at least 2 or 3 very good ones. So I think this counts as like one of the 2 or 3. It's interesting. The art is on point. The style is great, and I just love the different views of the character. I'm really liking this whole Ultimate lines of stuff. Like, I like all the switches that are happening.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree with you both. Like, if you're a lapsed Spider-Man fan, this is the book to pick up. And if you're not a lapsed Spider-Man fan but looking for someone else to pick this book up, I think if you just have a basic knowledge of the character, it's the way to go. And I wholehearedly agree with this. And
I think this will get you into the other books. Like if you just started with this one and you're like, wow, you know nothing else about this Ultimate line, I think this will get you into reading Ultimate Invasion and then the Ultimates and then Ultimate Black Panther, X-Men, and all that stuff.
Well, Well, speaking of similar,
it's like I was trying to transition to it, right?
It's like you were transitioning there, right there, Josh. So yeah, you're recommending the rest of the Ultimate 6160 books. What other books would you recommend, Josh, along with this, if you're looking for some similar?
Yeah, I think mainly the 61610 books, like the Black Panther and Ultimates is another one. I can't wait for the next one because I'm really trying to see what they're doing. I like the different types of characters that they have. Another big one is
Wolverine's all right.
I'm liking that. I'm really liking because it's more of the.
I like Chris Condon. I like the artist.
Yeah, and I'm liking what they're doing with the Rasputins, and then with the Ultimates, like what they did with the Hulk and how he's the Hulk but Iron Fist. Also, is like the Fist of Khonshu and Khonshu. No, is it Khonshu? Am I saying that right? No.
Yeah, Khonshu is the name of the god.
That's right. Okay. No, not but they have Khonshu, but also he's the Iron Fist. So and then the Ultimate Spider-Man, the Bendis and Badgley one. I think that's if you want the Spider-Man origin, and there's a shit ton of issues to also read from that. So
there's, I mean, just the Bendis and Bailey is the longest Marvel run of a creative team. Like it would beat out because like it was 111 issues, and it was Stanley and Kirby only 108. So like they actually hold the record for consecutive creative team.
And it's awesome. And then like from that too, I think one of like a standout book of that is the Sinister Six that they did with that book. So
yeah, if you're also looking for just like good Spider-Man stories, I would say Untold Tales of Spider-Man, or check out the Spider-Girl stuff. You know, that was really, really fun.
Yeah,
you wrote down as well. Go ahead,
Kurt Busiek.
Yeah, Kurt Busiek.
We're Busiek.
I love that book.
Stands over here, fan stands.
Yeah, Astro City, baby. We gotta do Astro City next soon. I'm telling you. You also wrote down Hickman's Avengers run with New Avengers and all that stuff. If you're looking for that good, big, sprawling, like
Infinity,
yeah, all of that. And then you also wrote down East of West, Josh. Which I'm
East of
not
West
surprised. It's great.
Yeah, I think if you're looking for more Jonathan Hickman stuff and more of like the higher sci-fi stuff, East of West is a great read. That's one of those ones where I was surprised I was able to follow along. So,
yeah,
and the art is on point, and it's
Nick Dragotta or whatever.
Yeah, something. Yeah, it was really good, and it's a killer book.
45 issues.
Yeah,
45 issues.
It's a quick read, but also it's a good one. It's a killer book. It's fun.
Let's get into our weekly recommendations. And Jane, again, would you tell us what is your pick for fans not related to any of this, but it can be? What are you reading?
What are you reading right now?
What are you reading right now?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to say. No, I'm not going to recommend it, but I am reading Batman Hush 2.
That's fine.
Yeah, just to because
self-abuse.
I'm a masochist, but I think I guess it would go with this Ultimate Incursion, the mini series that's happening.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, see, just think, you guys got in a car, put gas in your car, went to the comic book store, and picked up and paid money to read Hush 2 right now.
Hush 2, yeah.
Well, keep in mind, I pick up a bunch of other books along with it, and I like looking at train wrecks.
Yeah,
I literally I was gonna say, I literally texted Josh this week, and I'm like, dude, did you read Hush? He's like, yeah. I'm like, it's so bad.
You know what? The art's good.
Yeah.
Got Jim Lee.
Yeah, but that's like,
halfway through, I think like halfway through one of the issues, like his art, like he's like, did he even ink this? And just anyway, but it's
a hard read right now.
It's a hard read. It's hard.
He did sparrows. I just remember about this one time I did the same thing with bats, and I'm gonna tell you everything about it. Like, okay.
What about you, Josh? What you reading?
What I'm reading right now, I'm really liking the current Superman book right now. There's just starting this new storyline with the Legion of Doomsday. And it's another take on a character. I was Legion stuff. I'm there for you. You say Legion, and I'm like, I'm already there. Legion, and another character shows up at the end of the book that I've been a fan of since the early 2000s. So
I can't wait.
I don't want to spoil it. But
thank you. I'm going to sure behind on Superman.
He's an oh shit character. This is the Joshua Williams one. So he's an oh shit character. It's like whenever he shows up, behind all that. Yeah, he's a character. Whenever he shows up, you're like, oh shit, like so.
All right,
Brian. What about you? What are you reading right now, Brian?
The book I'm recommending this week is Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Rite of Spring. It is a follow up to the aforementioned Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, the miniseries, which is essentially the Berenstain Bears meets Hannibal Lecter by Patrick Horvath. He does the writing and the art. It's excellent. This book picks up basically 8 years after the previous miniseries, where a sister of one of the victims is coming looking to find where her brother is, and so there's some twists and turns already in the first issue, and it's quite great. So I'd recommend picking up the miniseries and going out and picking up the first issue.
Awesome. Yeah, you've been mentioning that story like a bit, like not even just this show, so like for a while too. So
yeah, I've been really pushing that book hard. I got to meet the writer. Actually, I was at or the writer / artist set. I was at IGN Live. I got to meet him for a hot minute.
Oh, nice. Because you guys had a back and forth too, like on social media too.
I don't know if I did with him. I may have. I don't know. But Patrick Horvath. But anyway, he was totally cool, really nice. So yeah. Anyway, and on that note.
I think that we're getting to the end of the episode. Thank you all for listening. Again,
thank you, Gene, for coming on.
Thank you, Gene, coming on, our first guest. Hopefully, you liked it enough that you can come again.
I would love to. This was awesome.
Thank you.
I love podcasting because I've been doing this so long. I love obviously, but I love podcasting with people you're listening to. So
thank you.
Like, because it's just so weird, because it's like when you go back and listen to the episode, like you're like, I don't know, like it's like VR or something. You're in the episode after listening to it. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's been
more
of
the Neo stuff. You're in the Matrix now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I would love to come back. It was such a pleasure with you guys. You guys are. I love the podcast.
Oh, and especially you're the day after Comic-Con. You got Nerd Flu. You're coming back when you're
the swag.
All the swag, man.
Yeah. Dude, I had so much like FOMO, or not FOMO, but just like when you're Instagram seeing all the stuff you were doing, and I was like, man, like you went to that One Piece party, like
it's fun.
That's
Josh's jam.
That's my jam. That's my I can't think of it. The jam, yeah. My peanut butter, my jam, whatever.
I was gonna say we're all dying here. Let's go ahead and end it on that note. And on that note, please be sure to like and subscribe and hit us up on the Instagrams and the Blue Sky. I'm the BComp on Blue Sky. Josh, where else are we?
Yeah, we're the goodness gracious. We Got Issues Cast is on Instagram, and then We Got Issues on Blue Sky. And if you like the episode, Gene, what are you on?
Where are you, and where can fans find you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and Instagram and Blue Sky. It's Gene9892. The Waffle Press is also on that. It's at the Waffle Press Podcast, and that's on YouTube and SoundCloud and iTunes and everything podcast related. Yeah,
rockin'.
Nice,
thank you.
And when you're listening to this episode, please give us 5 stars. Tell your friends to listen to this episode. Give us 5 stars.
Go back and listen to go listen to all of his podcasts, but go back and listen to the episodes we're on
specifically
Serving Up Comics
on our episodes. The Penguin and Thunderbolts. Give those 5 stars, and then comment like, hey, Josh and Brian are the best. I don't know what else. Give us the accolades. No. Look, I have a fragile ego, so I need constant affirmations, and so please continue to do that. And also, look, if you have someone to want us to chat about, or even talk about, let us know on our socials. And on the apparently
or in person,
meet Brian on the street and ask him.
It happens. It happens.
Talk to Gene; he'll get back to us. I mean, it's like. Tell anybody and everybody what we'll want to talk about, because in the meantime, though, what are we going to be talking about next episode? Right?
Well, next episode we are probably going to do Fantastic Four Life Story, which is sort of the semi-basis for the most recent Fantastic Four film came out. We should probably not get down this rabbit hole, but plus or minus on that. Was that a thumbs up or a thumbs down for that movie, Josh?
I would say.
I was going to do next.
Gene gave a thumbs up, so I'm also giving a thumbs up.
I'm giving a thumbs up as well. We'll talk about it more in the next episode, though. And on that note, thanks you so much for listening.
And thanks again, Gene, for coming on. And we will see you on the next one.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Peace.
Bye.